So, do you know, in light of what we talked about last week with the Taliban banning musical instruments, and they were
Yeah.
literally burning that poor man's instrument before his very eyes. So I just like was looking at a couple of other like news stories of what they've done, and as like a follow up to that, obviously music schools around the country have completely shut. Like they shut like straight away after that. And again, these are people who like this is their entire profession, and there were a lot of young people. Like imagine you're an aspiring musician or an aspiring
Mm.
artist, and that's like your entire career trajectory. That's your passion, and now it's completely been snatched away from you. But also, one of the bits that really got me in one of the news pieces I was reading was the fact that the instrument that they were actually burning, the Taliban, that like that sound will just not be heard again in Afghanistan for a while now. So yeah, that was really sad to hear because it's like it's such a traditional instrument to the region, and the Taliban have like this was one of the main things that people would gather at other people's houses, and the musicians would play, and they'd find some solace and just like have a normal, like profound human experience outside of what's going on in the country. But to that end, there was a little bit of, I wouldn't say necessarily good news, but like a very nice gesture. There was an event held in Barbican in London just yesterday. So I'll share my screen with you guys. It's called the Songs of Hope, and it's raising spirits and money with Barbican Date and reviving the rhubarb. That's the instrument that the Taliban were burning in that video that day. So celebrated musicians to perform music from Afghanistan and London together. Few people know about the rich musical heritage of Afghanistan, and the ongoing humanitarian crisis there has now sparked both a bid to raise money and let people share the joy of its musical traditions. Called Songs of Hope, a benefit concert, it will take place at the Barbican in London, so it took place yesterday, and will raise funds for the Afghanistan and is backed by three charities, Emergency Learn and MMCC. And that charity is doing a lot for Afghanistan, by the way, if you guys want to look into that separately. But yeah, the concert's being organized by Afghanistan International, a media company that broadcasts news about the country. Jay Visvadeva, a longtime Indian classical music producer, he's helping to promote the concert. And he told Asian Culture Vulture why he felt the concert was important. We just have to mobilize people into action. People need a lift. We need public support, and this will provide inspiration, and it will also definitely help the artistic communities there as well. Currently, aid agencies are warning of a dire humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan as food and other essential items are in scarce supply and winter temperatures are exacerbating already difficult living conditions. The UN said today, this was January 11th, that 5 billion, so £4 billion, $5 billion, is needed to avoid catastrophe. Since the Taliban seized power in the summer, foreign aid has slumped, much of the economy has collapsed, and there are increasing concerns about child malnutrition and poor health, water, and sanitation. We really need to do something to help the people. This concert showcases two brilliant musicians and expresses our solidarity and care and compassion for the ordinary people of the country. The rhubarb is an ancient instrument that is believed to have originated from Afghanistan. It's a beautiful instrument, by the way, and is a lute-like structure that's widely regarded as the country's national instrument. Humayun Sakhi is an outstanding rhubarb player and will be accompanied by Shahbaz Hussain, widely recognized as one of Europe's leading tabla players. Shoot, I really should have gone to this. The pair will perform classical, traditional, and folk music for Songs of Hope. Sakhi was born into one of the country's best-known musical families and learnt the rhubarb by the age of 10 under the instruction of his father, Gustad Ghulam Sakhi. Afghan-born Sakhi moved from Kabul to Peshawar initially in Pakistan and plays in a unique classical style which one has survived censorship during Afghanistan's many years of conflict and repression. He began his professional career in earnest in Pakistan, where he became a prominent figure appearing on radio and TV. So basically, these guys are literally the last ones who are able to keep this tradition alive, what he's learned from his dad. With the Taliban coming into power, obviously this whole industry, this whole tradition is going to die out if it's not kept alive. So this was really, really like just, it was just heartwarming to see actually. Because you can see like how much it means to the people there and how much, you know, like it's like imagine Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan, Qawwali, that kind of legacy of South Asia. This is
Mm.
Afghanistan's legacy, so I'm sure like people have such a close affinity to it. But yeah, basically, I have no idea. I'm going to check how much these guys managed to raise, but that was really heartwarming to see that last week we saw that this instrument here was being burnt at the hands of the Taliban. And then we see people who are coming together around the world and saying, we're not going to let this art form die out, and we're going to raise money at the same time for the ordinary people who are genuinely suffering.
By the way, there with music though, there is a bit of a dispute in that, but it
What do
is
you mean?
considered. Well, some say like modern Muslims have found a way
Islamically, you
of,
mean?
yeah, Islamically, yeah. There's some dispute on whether music should be allowed
Yeah,
or
but it's
not. But
indisputable that the Taliban have taken a stance, which is not allowed.
oh yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Taliban follow Hanafi school of thought, and Hanafi is that
Yeah.
because it's one of the prophecies of Muhammad that when people will start listening to music, singing girls, wearing of silk, and drinking of alcoholic drinks will become the norm. That's what's going to happen. This is Sahih Bukhari 5590. Let me share that with you.
If they enter a nightclub, they'd actually think it's like the Day of Judgment.
Yes, everything is happening there.
Literally, everything's fulfilled in there. Plus,
Yeah.
and then some.
Let me put my silky shirt on. Go have a nice, cool, cold bevy, and obviously music is blaring, and then maybe get lucky.
Yeah, that's it. It's one great night out. It's the Day of Judgment.
This is the judgment day. Allah will destroy them during the night and will let them out and fall on them. How many times Allah has done this on these, all these nightclubs, all these districts, all these regions of the city where people go and do this every weekend, and been doing that for last, I don't know, 200 years. And in the West, they've probably been doing that for 2,000 years. Who knows? Wow. This guy was just, whatever he didn't like, whatever he didn't want, he just made it haram for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. And he didn't like a lot of things. That's the bloody problem.
No.
If you were just a lot more like relaxed and chilled out as a messiah, life could have been so much better for everybody. You've literally sucked the joy out of every part of life. You've suppressed women. You've hypersexualized them. You've taken out every pleasure in life known to human beings.
No, but you know what?
Then you've given us a sex-filled paradise. Thank you, mate.
But you know what? This is a funny thing, yeah? And how we were talking about that, how Muhammad used to make shit up as he went along. Look at this one. So music is haram. He said that, it hasn't said categorically said it's haram. He's just said that he's equated that to evil actions. So look what happened. So one day Abu Bakr goes to Muhammad's house on the day of Eid al-Fitr. Yeah. And there's two girls singing there. They're singing songs. So Abu Bakr said twice, protestingly, he says, musical instruments of Satan in the Prophet's house? But the Prophet said, leave them, Abu Bakr. For every nation there is a festival. And this is our festival, Eid. So Muhammad, when this music is soothing him, he's like, yeah, that's okay. What a freaking hypocrite.
Yeah, also the call to prayer is somebody's voice. That's singing in a way. That's like literally using...
You can sing to suck up to Allah. You could do that.
So they were probably singing about other things in life.
Yeah.
Wow, it's so weird though that you can even put like such a control on what can come out of in the form of singing. The only discrepancy is what you're singing about.
Yeah.
If you like these videos and want to support me in my activism, then you can support me on Patreon or PayPal. Stay free, everyone.